Farlost, created by John Miro. 15. Burkov was in motion and fast, reaching out, face twisted in an animal snarl. Something glinting bright in his hands. He was coming for her. Lou was already aware of the threat, already moving to counter it on instinct. Yanking on the side of the command chair, she pulled herself out of his path. She heard the clicking sound, saw the arcing blue light of his taser just inches away. He grunted as he flailed for her with the small plastic device. She pulled her body out of the path of his hand, bent in the middle, and kicked the Hascom Senior Vice President for Research square in the face. His eyes shut tight in pain, and a few droplets of blood escaped his nose. One joined the drying smear on her cheek that was all that remained of Ed Dwyer. "Officer Taggart," Lou yelled, already back at her monitor. "Lock him in the duty officer's cabin." She slapped instructions into her screen to open up the last restricted controls Beecham hadn't yet been able to access. She heard Burkov bark in pain. Taggart had already been heading to intercept the VP before her command, and he had not likely been gentle about it. "No," Burkov said, his voice wet with blood and nasal sound. She guessed she'd broken his nose for him. "Please don't do this." Then he made a wet coughing sound. Lou spared him a glance to see both hands at his throat. No doubt Taggart's fingers had poked him into gagging silence before sending him careening toward the small room on the outer wall equipped as an office, mini kitchen, and lavatory for the officers who manned the CNC 24/7. She wasn't bothered in the least by how hard Burkov bounced off the wall by the hatch when he got there. She turned back to watch Beecham's fingers race, tapping and eking out information quickly. "Done!" he cried. The message, "Engage FTL," appeared inside a red rectangle on her mirrored terminal. "Still locked out here," he said, his voice high and frantic. "Command override required to engage FTL," read a dialogue on her monitor. Lou reached out to tap the green square below the message, but she stopped her fingertips in the air just shy of the target. She hesitated, licking her lips. Almost 100 lives depended on her. 100. She leaned towards Beecham's workstation. "Don't be wrong." Beecham licked his lips, too. "I'm not wrong. I'm not, okay? I am not wrong." She saw it in his eyes. He was scared, but he believed. And they really didn't have any other choice anyway. She tapped the green square. He bowed his head for a second, then straightened it. "And if I am wrong, we'd have been dead for sure anyway." "Come on, don't tell me that," Lou roared, as he slapped his palm down on the blinking "Engage" in the center of his screen. Touch, sound, vision, all mixed together in a stomach-churning jumble. Language and taste blended in with the rest before the world stopped making sense completely. Lou, along with everyone else aboard, passed out. Unknown to any of the unconscious crew, bolts of white energy haloed the CNC, arcing faster between small pods that had been installed around the thinner neck that connected the module to the airlock array and the tanks below. 2 of the 8 pods were gone, torn away by rocks, but there were enough left to complete the circle. The circle of white that enveloped the ship. Slowly, the circle of light expanded further out from the craft and finally obscured the blacked-out force field that shrouded and protected the ship. The white glow became painfully bright. If anyone had been watching with naked eyes, the ship would have looked to be a new sun being born. And then that sun exploded. The searing white light and titanic shockwave of energy rocketing outward, leaving nothing in its wake. HHL-6 was gone. Farlost. Music by Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com. Learn more at servingworlds.com.